Today we're going to really quick explain a couple things because a lot of people are asking, okay, how to install my kernel and such, and it's getting really tiresome to explain this over and over and over and over again. So I decided, well, you know what, maybe it's time to just make this video. Now there's a video made by a guy whose name is Flashing His Life, and the sad part about his video is he kinda didn't explain the most important part, and that is how to even install TWRP. See, now that's the one that people usually struggle with, and this is why I'm going to make this video. Otherwise I would just have linked his video. And honestly, once you got TWRP installed and you want to know, I'm gonna say this, just watch this video basically. I mean, he shows it, so at least that time I got saved. So, explaining kernel. So what does this kernel give you? Well, it's basically just a stock kernel with a display being quote unquote fixed, and some boosting behavior optimization. So meaning if you play a video game, let's say Wild Rift or PUBG, Call of Duty Mobile, whatever. Usually what the normal Rog3 will do is it won't really aggressively boost, so you will see really low clock speeds on the GPU and CPU. Now this can be kinda averted by using the Armory Crate manual tuning, where you can kind of fix the what's it called, the CPU. However, GPU, I have never gotten it to work that it would actually boost like I wanted to for some fucked up reason. So this is why I changed the boosting behavior generally of the CPU and GPU. So this means if you play a game, you will see much more stable boost frequencies, which will result in much more stable frame times. The GPU is also slightly overclocked, and the entire GPU is also quite significantly undervolted, so you will actually see lower temperatures. And when you run full speed, you basically don't need the fan anymore. It will not throttle even if you don't have a fan on and run full speed, unless you for some reason have a cover like mine, where you kind of engulf the phone and make it more like an oven. Then you will probably face some thermal issues. But if you have like a normal cover or just use the phone normally, it will absolutely not thermal throttle. Maybe if you live in a country where it's really, really, really warm, maybe then. I have not tested it, so I cannot tell. If maybe you want to tell me about it, I would actually like to know. So yeah. Let's start. The first thing you want to do is you want to actually unlock the phone. Now, there's a big problem with this for a lot of people. Unlocking the phone will basically, or rather unlocking the bootloader, will absolutely void your warranty. Most people are probably not bothered by it because the phone itself is really, really sturdy. It's really hard to break on its own. And let's just say, even though it can happen, it's very unlikely for it to happen. That being said, for those who really like having warranty just to be safe and, you know, feel to be really unlucky, then this would be the step where you have to realize, okay, you have to wait. You have to wait until the warranty is off. And that's that. For those who obviously have a Tencent, want to take the risk, or a cross-flash Tencent phone, I mean, you can just proceed because you don't have a warranty to begin with on Tencent phones. And for those who want to take the risk, I mean, a lot of people do. I was one of them, so I also took the risk after, because I was kind of scared at first unlocking the phone, because or unlocking the bootloader rather, because I was kind of scared that something similar would happen like the Rog3, where the logic board would die. That being said, that never happened on the Rog3. There was no thermal reports or anything, so it seems like this phone is absolutely rock solid. So yay for that. All right, so the first thing you want to do is you want to go here to the Rog3, and how do you get to this page? Well, you go on Google, you write Rog3 support. Once you get there, you just press the link, go on driver utilities, press Android, and here it is. Now the unlock app is straightforward. You just install on your phone. I would recommend just downloading directly on your phone. Visit this page via your phone. That will make it much easier. You just download the APK, you install it, it'll tell you, it'll wipe all your data, This is sadly something you cannot avoid. It will wipe your entire data. So make a backup first, in case you do want to make a backup first. I don't know, maybe you don't want to. It'll then unlock the phone. It'll, you know, yeah, it'll just unlock it, restart, unlock, and you'll see whether or not it's unlocked, because it will give you a pretty, it will actually give you a warning every time you start the phone, like, oh, this bootloader is unlocked, yada yada. So there's that. Once you've unlocked it, you can then download the zip file in my description, and then you put the whole thing in a folder. This will not have the TWRP image, because I want to make sure you always have the most up-to-date TWRP image. So you only have the most up-to-date things. And the same goes for the kernel. I will only link my Discord for the kernel application. The reason for this is the same as before. I want you to have the most up-to-date versions of these two, in preventing people from, I don't know, maybe this video is being seen after a year and someone flashes a completely old kernel on a new firmware and causes all kinds of issues. Yeah, I want to prevent that. I want a lot of people not to fuck over their phones. It's really important. So what's important here is you need to find this file first. And to do that, you just go on twrp.me, and this has to be on the PC, by the way, /asus/rogphone3 HTML. You pick whatever is closer to you. In my case, it's Europe. You pick the newest image, and then you download the image. Boom, it'll then prompt the download link. You will then put the image in this file. Rename it to TWRP just for simplicity's sake. Next thing you want to do is you want to open this commando prompt. Just for safety, open it as an admin. You want to cd into the folder, which you can call it whatever you want. In my case, I just called it ADB Rog because I already have like thousands of fucking ADB folders. Don't ask me why. And once you're here, you just write ADB devices. And it'll show you the list of all devices attached to your phone, to your PC. Now, as you can see here, you can see there's my device. Now, what's important to note here is that it has to show a device. And a lot of people will probably put in their phone, like connect their phone to the PC, and they will be like, okay, but why can I not see my device? The reason for this is you probably have the cable on the bottom of the phone, and you cannot have it. It has to be on the side. ADB, for whatever reason, does not really work on the bottom port. Do not ask me why. I have not looked into it, and I'm not going to, because frankly, I don't really care. So once you can see that the device is indeed in the fucking, it's being listed, then what you do is ADB reboot, it actually says here, reboot bootloader, right? So once you reboot it into bootloader, you'll see the typical, recovery, start, yada yada yada. You can select a couple things, and you want to stay in that menu because that's the actual bootloader. After that, you will just want to write flash boot flash. In this case, just twrp dot recovery dot a and then twrp dot image. That's all you want to do. Once you flashed it, you will then also flash B, and once both are flashed, that's when you want to do fast boot reboot. There's that. The reason why I'm not pressing enter is because, honestly, I don't want to install TWRP again. I already have it on my phone. So yeah, from there, this video will suddenly become really relevant, because what this guy does is basically everything you need to do. So this is where I'm telling you, just follow his video if you're not sure how to do it, but I can't give you a too long, didn't read. All you have to do is you just press down, like once the phone is shut off, you press down power button, volume up, hold it until you get into bootloader. The bootloader will then give you these menus where it can start, yada yada. When you use the volume buttons up and down, it'll basically give you a lot of menu points. So there, you just press, you just find recovery, you press, the power button, and from there you can then press the install button, and there you have to obviously install the zip file via TWRP, and then you're done. You have installed the kernel. The zip file obviously has to be on your phone beforehand, so kind of important. You can do that either via, I mean, even if you for some reason followed this video, right? And now you're at the position where you're like, okay, wait, so now I'm in this menu, but I didn't put the zip file yet. Don't worry, you can still do it, because once you're in the TWRP, you just connect to your PC via the side port, very important. Then you could just use it as a normal file manager. Then again, you just drag the zip file into there, just into the SD card, install it via that. Just install normally again via TWRP. No problems. Absolutely no problems. Once you put it into system, you look for my APK, which is Rog3 Black Crush Fix. Install that, and then you're done. Yep, then you're finished. There's nothing more to it. It's relatively straightforward. If you've done it once, you can do it again in roughly just 2 minutes or something. Like flashing kernel is really quick, really fast. So there's that. So I think that's covering everything you need to know. So yeah. Hope that's it. On to the next.